Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. And for this week we have Arena Skirmish and the PvP Brawl will be Deep 6. And that is literally all that's going on for weekly events this week. Okay, so accomplishments and goals and all that. My goals last week was to level the Lightforged Priest from 94 to 100, mainly because it was time walking. Or still is if you're watching this on Monday, because resets on Tuesday. But yeah, so I did really good with that. I got the Priest to level 100, so she is now working on Legion invasions. After that, I had also, on the weekend, gotten my lock to 112. Not too many levels got done, really, on the lock. She was sitting at 100, so only 2 levels. And then afterwards, I brought in my Dark Iron Pally, who I haven't actually really leveled in, we'll say, a year and a half. It's a character I level with guildies, so I never touch the character when the guildies aren't logged on. So that's why it kind of stays at low level for long periods of time. But I thought it was a perfect opportunity with time walking, and the guildies were wanting to do some stuff for that weekend. So that's what we chose to do. Okay, so that character was level 60 when I started and is now 71. That was all done in one night. It's all dungeons because I'm a healer on that character, so it's nice and quick dungeons for us. And that's pretty much it. I did also finally get my safari hat. I've been making some pet battle videos lately, and a lot of the time when I do that, that sometimes entices some guildies to go do the stuff I do videos on. And it seemed to entice Arsenal to start up pet battles, so he took his first dive into a pet battle this weekend. And that kind of reminded me that I've been stuck on like 39 over 40 for my pet tamer achievement for a while. So I finally went and knocked that out this week. Also, a lot of mounts were looted, and you will see those mounts in this coming up week. They are going to be the content for the week. I've got enough to drag the videos through the entire week, so you will definitely see which mounts I came across, and yeah, I was pretty happy to get a couple of them. I had kind of low attempts. They're new mounts, and yeah, so that was pretty cool. So hope you enjoyed those upcoming videos. And that is it for our goals and accomplishments. Next week's goals is... honestly, I have no idea. Nothing's really going on. I was thinking maybe... what am I leveling now? Everything is in Legion invasions now. So I don't even know what I'm leveling. You know what we could do? The goal will be the Maggar Orc. Okay, so the Maggar Orc is level 35 right now. And we'll aim for a goal of level 50. So level 50. And then I'm thinking that on the weekend or sometime throughout the week, I would love to hop back over on the Dark Iron Dwarf and get some more levels over there. And yeah, the goal really is that we're just gonna level together till basically 100. Yeah, because WoD is a really good solo level place, but it's only good if you get the bonuses regularly, but if you're going to keep like questing throughout that day, it's not really a great solo, but the bonuses are worth a lot. So those are good. But Legion, it's practically pointless to level with anyone through Legion. You can get so much just by doing the invasion. So I had already told the group that we were gonna basically more or less halt. I think I said 90, but I think we'll make it 100. We'll halt at the 100 mark and do invasions and stuff, and then continue after that. And the goal for the Dark Iron Dwarf Paladin will be to level from 71 to 80. Now, keep in mind that the Paladin will only get leveled if the group is wanting to do stuff on the weekend. So if something comes up and the group isn't around on the weekend, the Paladin won't get leveled at all. So it's just there if the group wants to do anything. And that concludes the goals and accomplishments section. So let's head over to news now. Okay, so for the first piece of news, you might remember a while back, I did a video on Herald of the Titans. I can link it at the end of the video if you want. And a lot of people have been wondering what happens to that when Shadowlands comes around. For those that are unaware what it is, it's a title that's unique to the Alder raid, and you have to go in at basically the level of the raid, which is 80, and you can't be higher than like 100 item level. With the level squish in Shadowlands, people have been very curious of what's going to happen to that achievement. I was pretty certain I knew what was going to happen to that achievement because the 100 item level is not the way it always was either. It was a different item level back when it first came out, and Alder was the current raid. I can't remember exactly what item level, but it was like 130 or something like that. It was, you know, honestly, it was actually easier to do the achievement when it first came out than now. But yeah. So anyway, there has been an update to it. So when Shadowlands launches, the requirements will be that you are level 30 and your item level can't be higher than 35. So that those will be the new requirements. So basically, it still will exist. You'll still be able to get that achievement. It just will be different levels. And I'm glad I have it because I do not want to ever see my level 30 in there. Oh god. Good thing I have the mount too. Yeah, I don't know. Things I'm still not agreeing with the level squish. The thing is, I know a lot of people say it's just a number and all that, but it's not just a number when you have been farming Alder at a minimum of level 80 for years, or you've been going into some other raid for years that was that level. Like, it might be a number to some people, but it's just weird to us collectors, you know? Like, I can't imagine any other collector is over there thinking, oh yeah, this ain't weird at all. I'm gonna get, invincible at level 30. You know, like, you're gonna tell me that that's not weird? That doesn't seem weird that you would have invincible at level 30? Like, yeah. Luckily, another mount I have. But yeah. So I still don't agree with it. I'm gonna have to deal with it, but I think this is one change that I don't think I will ever agree with because I feel like we're going a step backwards You know, I haven't felt like Shadowlands is amazing enough to do a squish like that. But I get why they're doing it. Anyway, if you want more rant of that, just stop by stream. I will tell you exactly how I feel. and why. I do have a lot of, reasons. The next piece of news is specific to hunters. One that may, really hype them up is that Elegon will be a tame in Shadowlands. So you can now run around with Elegon. And with that said, I have to say, Shadowlands, I might not like the level squish with it, but it is definitely looking very promising if you are a hunter or a druid. Pretty much everything that has hyped me for Shadowlands involves a hunter and a druid. So yeah, if you are one of those classes, you are winning right now. And, to be honest, I feel like hunters always win. But to be a druid, it's nice to feel a win once in a while because druids do get the shaft a lot. So it's nice that we're coming in ahead for Shadowlands. Okay, so the next part of news may kind of come as a spoil. It's something that happens in pre-patch. So if you don't want any pre-patch spoils, just mute for roughly 20 seconds, I guess. Basically, what is going to happen is in the pre-patch, both Alliance and Horde will get a quest to kill Nathanos, and Nathanos serves as a world boss in the pre-patch. And I will leave any story details out. That would be huge spoils, so I'll leave the stories out, but you'll find out what's going on in the pre-patch with him. Okay, so for the next piece of news, we have a new achievement coming out for Shadowlands. It's called 9 Afterlives. It's a pet achievement, and I've been waiting for another one to roll around similar to this. You guys probably remember the older achievements where it was like pet a certain cat, or not cat, but pet a certain pet, or hug, or kiss, or, love. And I've had those all done for years, so squirrels, if I remember right. For some reason, I'm recalling it being called To All the Squirrels I've Loved, or To All the Squirrels I've, hugged, or something like that. It's been many, many years since I've done that achievement. So it's nice to see another one, and what better than kittens, right? So for the achievement, you just go around to Maldraxxus and find the 9 kittens, and all you do is pet them. There is no murdering, just petting, just love. Be nice to the kittens. And they have some cute names to them. Hairball, Puss in Boots, Mr. Jigglesworth, Mayhem, Meowmalade, Snots Envy, Lime, and Moldstof. I don't even know how to say that last one. Moldstopholis. I think I got that one right. So very cute. So I guess if you're a kin lover, head out to Maldraxxus. And that one's actually worth more points than I thought it would. It says it's worth 10 points. I totally thought something like that would only be worth 5. So 10 points is good for a petting kittens achievement. Okay, so next up, we have some news regarding the new Keystone affixes. So it's showing us that there's Inspiring, which says some non-boss enemies have an inspiring presence that strengthens their allies. Spiteful says fiends rise from the corpse of non-boss enemies and pursue random players. And then Storming says, while in combat, enemies periodically summon damaging whirlwinds. And then Prideful looks like it's going to be the level 10 plus affix. And it says defeating non-boss enemies fills players with pride, eventually forming a manifestation of pride that they must defeat. That one sounds like last season's affix. The next piece of news has to do with our Legion legendaries, and it's interesting that this one popped up because in, I believe, the last stream or the stream before that, I was actually talking about the Legion legendaries and how I have been holding on to every single one because I'm a collector, so I have everything a druid could get Legion legendary wise in that expansion. And it's just been sitting in the bank for 2 years, doing nothing pretty much. And yeah, so this one kind of came in kind of good timing. It still doesn't tell me if I should toss it or not, but it you know, the news for the legendaries is that the effects will be disabled. So you can still get the legendaries, and those are sold over in Dal if you're interested. But the effects will be disabled, which is interesting because there's been a couple of things in BFA that normally can't be soloed, but have been soloed because of a Legion legendary. It's kind of interesting. The restriction was all right technically there. So just in case you're like, oh, well, mine were already disabled. It was already there if you were level 115. That was the level mark where they would disable them. But they would keep it usable for lower levels. Now, one thing worth noting is that while this is an effect for the legendaries, the trinkets that you got off Argus at the end of Legion, those still have the equip on them. I've actually been, don't ask me why, but I keep upgrading mine because when I go do like transmog runs and I get that stone that you would get that would up the item level 5 levels, like what else am I supposed to do with it, right? So I've got like a, you know, highest you can go trinkets sitting in my bank working on the healing one just because I get that item, and rather than delete it, I just, you know, and for whatever reason I hold on to those trinkets. I have so much stuff that I just hold on to. The next piece of news is for the druids, and that is that the Druid of the Flame appearance for the barbershop is now available for all the races, for any druid. So as long as you are a druid, you will have access to that. From the looks of it, it looks like they aren't really mentioning the toy as far as the flame goes, but they're mentioning the weapon. So Fandrel's flame scythe, that weapon seems to be what they're targeting for this appearance. So you might want to farm that, because I imagine you will need that weapon in order to get the appearance. So yeah, rumor is, although it is just a rumor right now, but rumor is that is what you will need to unlock the flame appearance. So if you don't have that, then Yeah, I might have to refarm it. I know I've had it in the past, but because it was a weapon and I had the toy, I think I just like tossed it. Yeah. Because I just always spam the toy. So I'll have to go back and re-get it. Or maybe I won't. To be honest, I still have the toy. I can still spam it. So, assuming that ability never leaves that toy, I don't see why it would. I could pick another appearance and just spam the fire kitty when I feel like being the fire kitty. You know, I've never felt the need to be the fire kitty 24/7. So, yeah, I don't always spam that toy. Honestly, I'd rather be, a different color and then periodically go into the fire kitty. There are purple kitties. So yeah, I think I'd probably do it that way, because for me to go back to Firelands, like, unless I have some transmogs still out there and not part of the set, because I've already gone the set transmogs, we're talking like every item that drops out of that raid, then maybe there'd be a reason for me to go back. But right now, thinking of it, I farmed that raid so much that I have all the pets, all the toys, all the mounts, all the transmogs for the Fireland set. So I'll have to look at my all the things add-on and see if there's something that would make it a reason other than that weapon. And actually, I'm pretty sure I've looted that weapon before, so that weapon probably wouldn't even be in the list of things to get, because I've farmed that place so many times that I almost guarantee you that I've looted that weapon. Just, I never knew before that it did that, because if you look at the weapon yourself, I'll bring it up on screen here, there's nothing that indicates that it would be there for you to be a fire kitty. Like, there's no way you would know by looking at that weapon. So, of course, I would have discarded it. So, I'm not 100% sure that I will go back to farm it. Like I said, I'll have to look at my collection add-on and see if there's any reason I would need to go back to Firelands. And the only reason would be for transmogs, because I have everything else. And honestly, on the topic of that, an interesting aspect just kind of entered my brain here. And it's that, how do you unlock the appearance with that weapon? If I have gotten the weapon before, does the system just know that and give me the fire kitty appearance in the barbershop, or do I have to have the weapon in hand? That is something I would like to find out before I go refarm that weapon. Because if the system just wants to see that you've had it at some point, then I don't need to refarm it, right? But yeah, that is something I will figure out in case some of you guys are in the same position as I am, because like, I am so certain I have looted that weapon, and I'll find out the next time I log in. I'll check my add-on and it'll tell me. But yeah, I'm certain with the amount of times I ran that place for the mount. And yeah, and then the times I farmed the toy, and yeah, I am certain I have that in my not in my inventory. I probably got rid of it, but it's been collected. So it would be interesting to know if you just need the system to know you collected it at some point throughout your gameplay, or does it need to actually be in your bags or your bank? So even when I did find out that the weapon gave you the flame kitty, I still didn't really want the weapon. I still preferred the toy, because the weapon you have to equip, right? And it's just a pain in the ass. It's the same reason why you see me running around a lot with regular kitty form rather than my Legion stuff. It's because in order to have my Legion appearances, I have to be in the spec, right? And being that I main Boomkin, yeah. So that's why you don't see a lot of those appearances. And it's a big reason why I'm looking forward to the barbershop. It's finally that thing where I can use my appearances finally without having to be in the actual spec, like the bear, guardian spec or feral spec, because for the Legion stuff, you can't just go into cat and then have it. Like, you legitly have to be in the spec. And unfortunately, they just don't give appearances like that to the Boomkins. And for those unaware of where he may be, he is in the Firelands raid. He's the same guy that drops the toy. So he will be the druid, obviously, in the raid. Major Domo, Staghelm, is his name. Yay, Staghelm! and yeah, it is interesting. I really thought it would be the weapon or the toy. So I'm kind of glad that they're keeping the toy, unique, I guess, but it's not really unique when it's an appearance, I guess. I don't know. I'm still a little surprised though that it's not both, like one or the other for requirements, because that appearance, like, really comes from the toy more than anything. People think of the toy first before they think of the weapon when it comes to that. So yeah, but if you want the weapon, that is where it is. Unfortunately, he's like the second last boss, so yeah, you pretty much got to clear the entire raid to get to him. And the final piece of news is a bunch of server connection additions. And I will go through the list for those that play the game with me. Our server is affected for this reset, and I will let you know what is going on with that. So, the Eltrathalis and Coriel Straz realms will join the Akama, Dragon Maw, and Mugthal realms. The Korgath realm will join Cenarius, Paranold, and Cairn. The Blood Furnace, Manarath, and Nazjatar realms will join Asgalor, Ashara, and Destramath. I didn't even know there was a Nazjatar realm. But I don't really look at the realms. Like, I'm on the only realm I really care to be on, so I never look around, really. The Ursin, Andorral, Scylla, and Zulahed realms will join the Eonar and Velen realms. The Garona realm will join the Ice Crown and Malagos realm. Hyjal will join Proudmoore. Yeah, only one there because Proudmoore's actually pretty big, pretty popular one. And I left ours for last. So the Madaron and Dawnbringer will join Azir Myst and Staghelm realms. I hate that, honestly. Now we got like 4 servers on our thing. Like, just let us be us, So what this means, and maybe this will explain why I always hate when they do this, is it means twice as many people bidding on the black market. That's what it means. Yeah. That is the reason I don't like when they do this, because, like, if you consider the server dead or slow, fine. Obviously, if I'm on a slower server, then it means I want to be, like, don't force me into having massive amounts of people. Like, I have alts on busy servers for, mount buying pretty much. And then I like to, do my regular stuff on a, not a dead server, but not like, so busy that you're in a queue to fucking log in. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yay for that. I feel like they just destroy things when they're constantly adding connections, but whatever. So that is scheduled for this Thursday, August 20th, and it will be during a scheduled maintenance that is going to run from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So on Thursday, if you see the servers going down for a good chunk of time, you know why. And that concludes our WoW Weekly for this week. I hope you enjoyed, and hope you're having fun doing whatever it is. Not a whole lot going on this week, but, let me know in the comments what you're doing this week. Whether it's WoW or something else. Who's over there trying to get first place in Fall Guys, right? Yeah. So, I've already kind of zoned out of Fall Guys. I like it. It's a fun game, but I can only take it in certain stretches at a time, and then I get bored. But, but I'm also a huge WoW fanatic, so that may add to it. I won't stay out of WoW for too long at a time. And this right here that you've been watching has been the one of the current expansion metas. This is the Eternal, and the last boss was a bitch. We purposely wiped 7 times to get the last boss, because the last boss, like, the whole point is to die. The achievement is that the whole team is dead except for one person, and then that one person kills the boss. But yeah, it's kind of tough timing it out, and yeah, it definitely took a bit, but we got it. Honestly, it didn't help that the paladin in the group, he's the one that's the tank. One of the tanks. It did not help that he wasn't standing in the stuff that kills you faster. So he was taking forever to die, and he was pinning it on his gear. And as far as I could tell, he just wasn't standing in the proper stuff that does a lot of damage. But if it was his gear, then start dying earlier, right? Like, I think each one of us kind of knows if we can die fast or slow, right? If we stand in stuff. And he had to have known that prior to that. Like, if you have a lot of absorb on you, before going into a raid that you have a lot of absorb. So really, we had to force despawn this boss, more or less. Well, what happens is a boss actually despawns if it takes too long for everyone to die. So that wasn't even a forced despawn, but yeah, it took us 7 attempts. On the last attempt, we had you could see right now that the paladin is dead. We told him to die early. So that's how it got done. We had to get the paladin to die early, and then from there it was pretty much easy because the rest of us were all able to die perfectly fine by standing and stuff. That's why I am pretty certain that he just wasn't standing in the right stuff. He was probably standing in some circle that does next to no damage to you. Because even me, as a druid, I heal as I take damage, so like, I have to stand in stuff that does a serious amount of damage as well. But it got done. But definitely, yeah, I would have to say this is the toughest one out of all of them. However, only now is it. Something like this would be super fucking easy down the road. Because all you need is one person to be alive. And if you're at the point where you're able to solo this boss, that's easy. You just get everyone to die right off the bat, and then you pretty much solo the boss. You know, in the future, this will be a super easy one, but in current, it's a bit of a struggle. However, I might just be saying that because of the paladin, because honestly, the rest of the fight was super easy. We had no problems with the rest of the fight. It was just literally the ending where we would have to wait for that paladin to die, and by the time he died, the boss would despawn. Yeah. So I think maybe it's only really a struggle, or if you don't have a player in the group that's dying quick enough. Or I guess if the last person remaining can't down the boss. But that's why you get the boss to like 1%. Okay, so that concludes this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're having fun doing whatever it is you're doing while we're waiting for pre-patch. And I hope you enjoyed the upcoming videos for this week. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.